Boom! We are official. Are we official? Okay, here we go. Awesome, awesome. Well, hey, thank you for tuning in, everybody. It's Alex Estrada, and with me today for our first wholesale webinar. Well, we're actually doing it on Facebook Live to kind of get some attraction, get some more people involved, and we're also doing it on webinar. On the webinar, we actually have, our students, I would call them students, already tuned in, ready to go. We really appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. So pretty much for the first webinar, we're strictly going to be talking about getting started in wholesaling. What is wholesaling? Time commitment, having an LLC or not, finding a team versus doing it alone, marketing types of strategies such as physical, social media, and word of mouth. And that's pretty much just going to be the first things that we're going to be covering for our first webinar. Okay, the second one, then we're going to start going into what's the first step in wholesaling and how to get everything going out. But today I thought it would be a great topic to get the governor over here, aka Hernando RC, the governor. Involved in this, because this man has been in real estate for over 20 years, right?
20 plus years.
20 plus years. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make you sound young, okay?
7 years, yeah.
And if you don't mind me asking, how many deals, how many houses do you have under your belt?
I've sold over 350 properties in those 20 plus years.
Cool. Awesome, my man. And where did you get started at in real estate?
Well, I started over in the East Coast, New York City, right?
Mm-hmm.
So got licensed in 1995. And that was even before the internet was around or email was around. So we used to use index cards.
Yeah.
And we made calls through using the white pages. And so it was a whole different animal out there back then. There was no MLS on the computer. You had a big encyclopedia book that we used to look up houses on MLS.
The yellow pages, white pages.
Yeah.
Old school, right? Awesome, man. I couldn't imagine. Also, so getting into wholesaling, how did you get started? How did you find out about wholesaling, and what type of things did you were expecting versus the actual experience getting involved?
Right. So that's a good question. I mean, Alex, in New York City, there really isn't a market in the city of New York. Maybe upstate New York there is, but we're in the city. There was no wholesaling. It was mostly a small group of people that had control over the foreclosures and sending out postcards to homeowners, but it really wasn't out and open like it is in Texas and San Antonio. It's more of an open type of business here. So once I moved to Texas about 5 years ago, I got my license, but I'm inactive as a licensed agent. I got involved with wholesaling, learned the business through Facebook and through HILCO Homes when they started going live, on their Facebook. So pretty much Marco Romero taught me everything I know about wholesaling.
Cool, awesome. So, let's jump right into it. Our first one is, what is wholesaling? Would you like to explain that one?
Why don't you explain that? You're good at
that. So wholesaling, okay? So wholesaling, I'm just gonna make this as simple as possible, okay? Because what we're doing is we're catering to the new wholesalers, okay? I'm not a guru. He's not a guru. We're not gurus. Okay, but what we do have is experience in doing wholesaling and getting started, and so we're just wanting to educate those new people that don't fully understand what wholesaling is. So what wholesaling is when you find motivated sellers,
mm-hmm.
and these motivated sellers, you can find them through driving for dollars. And if you don't know what driving for dollars is where you're just driving around in your vehicle, okay, and taking down addresses, names. What that would fit a distressed properties. You can also find motivated sellers through probating, through tax liens. You can find tax delinquents. What else? Inheritance, divorce. So all these groups are motivated. Is where you would find motivated sellers, right? And so when you find a motivated seller, you reach out to them, ask them if they're interested in selling their property, and what you do is based off of a formula that we're going to be teaching throughout, the formulas that we're going to be teaching throughout this whole webinar series. We use that to give them an offer, a quick offer over the phone, and if it's something that they're interested in, then we go look at the property, come to an agreement on purchase price, and then we get it very cheap on the dollar. Sometimes you get them 30, 40 cents on the dollars, right?
If you're lucky.
Yeah, every well, those are common in San Antonio. You know, you can find a lot of $30, $40 properties, as I call them. So what you do is you get it very cheap on contract. You put the property on contract, all right, and then you sell that contract to an end buyer / investor who is going to what? Cash flow. Owner finance it. Other ways, other investors that you can look out for are subject to investors as well. Fix and flips, of course. So, whatever that investor is going to do with the property, your job is to sell that contract to him at a higher price. So let's just say you get that seller at $30,000, and then you sell that contract for an assignment fee. It's not a commission, because if you're not a licensed agent, you don't say commission, okay? But you can say it's an assignment fee. So you sell that contract for a higher assignment fee of $40,000 to that investor that's going to fix a flip or whatever they're going to do with it. And then when they both come together at the table, the investor funds the deal. The title then disperses the money accordingly. So $30,000 goes straight to the seller. The difference between that 30 and 40,000 goes straight to you. And then the investor gets the property and proceeds with their fix and flip. So
that's pretty much it. The whole strategy from beginning to end. Alex just described it. Of course, in the perfect world, that's how it works. Unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world.
Yeah.
And so we always have issues sometimes with the title holders. If the title is not clean, then we need to go in there and scrub it down and get it cleared. You have issues with sellers, you have issues with tenants, issues with buyers and their financing. I mean, in this business, there's so many things that there's so many obstacles that you have to sometimes climb over to get the deal to the finish line. And that's why here at HILCO Homes, we want to provide that service to all you new wholesalers out there, or those investors that want to get into the business of real estate investment. We offer this platform for you guys for free. Alex and I, we do this full time. We like what we do. We love what we do.
Yeah, I love it.
Right. And we want to offer this here to everyone online. So everyone who's thinking, let's give a shout out to the people who are watching here. We got Amber watching, Keith. Woo! All right. Let's see who else we got here.
Thanks, Mike, for watching. We appreciate
Rebecca, Adriel, Felipe watching. Thank you for chiming in and
thank you. We appreciate your support. So let's go into the next thing, okay?
Yep.
Let's talk about time commitment. So a lot of people that I've met getting into wholesaling and real estate, they have this dream in their head that things are going to work out so easily with so little time that you put into it, right? And what I mean is that a lot of people really don't understand how time consuming wholesaling is, okay? Because you got follow-ups, okay? You gotta keep track of your deals as far as where the seller is at with your contracts, or where your buyer is at with their contracts. You got to constantly do follow-up. Sometimes you got to chase down sellers. Sometimes you got to chase down your buyers. Sometimes you got to go out there to networking events to connect, to find lenders, to find general contractors. It's very time consuming. So I would say if the time commitment that you need to be putting into this is between 60 and 80. Now, starting off going into this, now if you have a 9-to-5, don't worry. You don't have to just quit your job and do this. Try to ease into it. And the way you ease into it is by at least doing 10 to 15 hours a week. Doing this if you have a 9-to-5, right? That is very how would you say? That is very
reasonable.
Reasonable, yeah. That's a very reasonable time to be putting in if you have a 9-to-5, right? And so while you're putting that time in, trying to transition from that 9-to-5 into this full time, which things you need to be focusing on and constantly doing is always going to networking events. Get your name out there. Try to connect with lenders. Try to connect with your general contractors, right? Because connecting with them is going to help save you time, and also help you close more deals in the future. As you'll see further in this webinar, what I mean by that, right?
Yeah.
When we get into that, what do you think as far as time commitment?
Listen, the old saying, you get what you pay for, or you get what you pay. What you get, how much time you put into it. Yes, you may be having a full-time job, like just went on it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I got to back up.
Oh, you got to back up. Okay, cool.
Well,
But, if you're not going to put more time in it, don't expect a abundance of money to come in on your fees. So either you jump in full or you don't. We here at HILCO, we have a few positions open for acquisitions partners, which is wholesaling. But we only take full timers, and that there's a reason why we only take full timers, because if you want to see the fruits of your labor, and like Alex said, all the time and effort we put in every day, we work 12 hours a day, usually 10 hours a day we put in, including weekends. And we do that because that's the only real way you're going to see your checks coming in. And they're nice checks. We're working on another deal right today. It's a huge, huge check, but we wouldn't have that opportunity if we're not grinding every day. So yeah, you get what you pay for in terms of time. What I want to iterate though, Alex, is ask me how I know, but for everyone out there who's going to start this career, move into it, just be careful out there with these national gurus, these traveling salesman gurus. You don't need to spend 10, 20, 30, 50, $40,000 on these programs that they offer you out there. Yeah, I want your mentors to be Google and YouTube. Those are free. Those are your mentors for today's technology. So this is just a warning. Ask me how I know. Okay, so it's really serious, because if you start off and you try to get into the wrong people and you try to get yourself started as a career and get out of the starting gate, and you can't because now you're in debt, or you got credit issues now, you can't get a home. If you want to do a project, your credit is shot. So be very careful out there with that. All right. So with that said, let's move on to another topic.
Number 3 was some people have asked me in the past about having an LLC, using an LLC to get into real estate versus not. What is your take on that?
Oh, to get licensed?
No, not to get licensed, to have an LLC, to have an LLC behind you.
Well, listen,
I think for tax purposes, you should have one.
Oh, yeah. Of course, for tax purposes, that's the purpose of the LLC. It protects you and it offers you a lot of incentive as your accountant would tell you. But if you're starting off and, oh my God, I can't do a wholesale deal because I don't have an LLC, that's wrong thinking. If you have a deal, write it up in your name, get the deal done, then you worry about the tax situations down the road. But for now, if you're starting off new, you don't have to have an LLC. But if you do take this full time and you're making more deals and they're coming in, then yeah, I definitely recommend to get an LLC, which is not very expensive. A couple of $100 a local attorney will do it. If you need a lawyer in San Antonio, though, who wants to hook you up with LLC, private message me and I'll get you a phone number for an attorney who'll do it for a few $100.
Badass, my man. I appreciate that. So the next one would be having a team versus doing it alone. My take on that, to be honest with you, is to start this off by yourself, going in, getting started, because I've seen people try to build a team and they're waiting for everybody else and nothing is moving. So you need to take the first step. I would go into this yourself, learn the business, learn what you got to do, learn the basics, build a foundation for yourself, then build a team to join you on your venture. I believe, having a team, you make more money with the team versus having, yourself do everything. A lot of people, sometimes some people are very either greedy or stubborn or don't really realize the importance of having a team. And what they do is they tend to try to be the closing team. They tend to try to be the disposition. They tend to try to be the acquisitions. They tend to try to be the face of their company. They tend to try to be their social media marketer or whatever. But the thing is, a lot of people overwhelm themselves. Some people tend to get sidetracked trying to do everything by themselves. But I would say going into this, focus on the most important thing is learning the system, learning how to, the structure, learning, how to get yourself out there. Worry about you learning wholesaling before you bring a whole team in. Okay, it's just a lot of work you got to do, because you can't bring in a team into something that you don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? That everybody's everywhere. There's going to be too many Indians, not enough chiefs. You see what I'm saying? That tends to get a little complex.
Too many chiefs, I think.
Yeah, well, okay, too many chiefs, not enough Indians. I'm sorry.
Any shout outs there?
Yeah, awesome,
Mike?
awesome.
Any questions on there, Mike?
No questions, anything? Cool.
Just,
Mike is with us. Mike Q, give yourself a shout out, Mike Q. Plug your
Okay.
CM integration. Go ahead.
Cool. So marketing, let's talk about marketing. I love this one, okay? The types of strategies. So know that there's physical. You know, let's skip that one, okay?
Yes.
Look up that one.
Physical.
So let's do social media. So social media is a big resource that people are starting to use these days, you know, in today's world. It's free. You got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got Twitter, you got YouTube, you got LinkedIn, you got Snapchat. Use these resources. It's very important. That has helped me out so much. Countless times where I go somewhere and somebody knows me because they've seen a video or that they see me on Facebook in one of the real estate groups. Because what I do is I max out my free resources. And what does that mean is I have over 400 plus real estate groups on my Facebook.
400.
Yeah, 400.
Damn.
Yeah. Max out, baby. You know what I'm saying?
But,
and then
repeat that again. Say it slowly again because they finally catch that.
400 real estate groups that I have on Facebook that
How
I'm
many
a part
do you
of.
have, guys? Watching. How many Facebook groups are you guys on? He has 400.
I got 400, man. To me, if you have less than 100, you're not doing enough.
You're
Okay?
irrelevant.
You need to be getting blocked by Facebook because you're posting too much. Okay.
Yes, Facebook.
You know, I know a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, well, you know, you're just posting and you know, pissing people off. I want people to piss off. I want my posts to piss you off because you constantly see me. Because eventually, you know, it's gonna linger in the back of your mind to reach out to me for something regarding what I'm posting about. You know, you'll be surprised how many people reach out to me because of all the posts that they constantly see, or you know, they reach out to me because they saw my ad on Instagram, or they saw my ad on Facebook, they saw my ad on Snapchat. You know, I utilize all of this. Social media is a very powerful tool that you need to be utilizing. And if you're not posting to get your business out there, if you're not posting to find buyers, if you're not posting to find sellers, then you're not doing enough. Okay, I can tell you off the bat. What's your take on social media?
Well, social media. I mean, this whole Facebook and Instagram has changed the world, and 7 billion people on it. I tell you from the wholesale perspective, when I first started doing wholesale before I came to HILCO Homes, I was out there door knocking, right? And I already told you the story.
Yeah.
But my first 2 deals that I did on wholesale, I netted $10,000 per deal. And well, you say, well, how the hell did you make $10,000? You just got into business. It was something called Facebook, right? The Facebook.
Was this when MySpace was out?
No,
That
was after MySpace. But no, this was a couple of years ago. I posted these 2 deals I got, these contracts that I had. I posted them on Facebook and the marketplace on Facebook. And guess what? Within 24 hours, I had buyers for both properties. Not at the same time, but I sold both properties through Facebook. And the end buyer was there on those groups that Alex mentioned, those real estate groups in San Antonio. So would I have been able to do that before Facebook was around? Maybe through Craigslist. But who's on Craigslist now, right? I don't know.
I think on Craigslist there's too much spam and too many rules.
Unless you're looking for
people flag your stuff.
he looking for she, or she looking for he. Is that still relevant out there?
No, that's different.
That's backspace, right?
That's backspace, my man.
Backpage. What's that? Backpage? Is that it, Mike?
I don't know, bro.
Anyway, moving on. So, yeah, I love Facebook. Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. So the next way of marketing is word of mouth. Word of mouth, and by what I mean by word of mouth is get yourself out there. Get yourself going to these real estate meetings. You know, every time somebody reaches out to you, you know, build a relationship with them. Building relationships and understanding how to build relationships is very important and key to being successful in sales, because sales in general is just a people's game. It's about connecting. It's about following up. It's about building relationships. It's about being with them long term. It's about servicing them. And if you're introverted, this is a great way for you to start, you know, getting yourself out there and start, you know, transitioning into being an extrovert. I know when I got started, I was barely like when I just got started in sales, not just real estate itself, but when I got started in sales, I was very introverted. I did not want to talk to nobody. I grew up in the east side of San Antonio,
very guarded,
where everybody is like very paranoid of everybody, okay, for violence. I still am, but I didn't want to be in a room full of people because I was scared somebody was going to put out a gun on me for some reason. Just this is the way I grew up, you know what I'm saying? So that made me become very introverted. And so when I got started in sales, I really had to get out of my shell. Something else to understand as well is that word of mouth. It's how people grow their business these days. Okay, it's word of mouth, and you'll be surprised how I got deals because somebody referred somebody that referred somebody that knew somebody that was selling a house because I built a relationship with that person. You know what I'm saying? I understood what word of mouth and the power of it, and that's how a lot of these multi-level marketing, companies, they grow so much, you know what I'm saying? Is because they understand that word of mouth, and so they teach people how to, get themselves out there, how to edify somebody, how to connect somebody with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because word of mouth is very powerful.
I mean, true, word of mouth and referral, but when you're under the HILCO Homes umbrella, this here name goes a long way in San Antonio and nationwide, because Alex and I work under this name. We get a lot of credibility in terms of ethics and how we work, whereas other people may not have that opportunity. So I'm just plugging HILCO a little bit because it's true. And Marco has created a great company here, and we run through integrity and ethics. Correct?
Yes.
All right, moving on.
Awesome. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have so far. If y'all have any questions about what we're going to be doing, the webinars, or any other questions right now going into this webinar series, go ahead and feel free to ask some questions. We appreciate it. But what I want to kind of give y'all a heads up on what to expect on these webinars. A few of the things that we're going to be talking about is building your buyers list, where to find your buyers using social media, talking about networking events, how to go into a networking events and what you should be doing, and understanding that it's a
drinking. That's what you should be doing. Alcohol.
Okay, but most importantly, you're not there to drink. What you're there for is to build relationships. So we're going to talk about social media and how to build a buyer's list from there, how to build your buyer's list from a networking events, and what to do at a networking events. We're also going to be talking about friends and family. And then we're also going to be talking about having a system like a CRM and scheduling follow-ups, understanding your buyer's criteria. That's going to be on the second episode. The third one is going to be talking about motivated sellers. And we're going to talk about the types of motivated sellers like probate, divorce, foreclosure, medical, out-of-state, absentee, vacant, evictions, retirement, problem flip, tax liens, court issues, overpriced and retail market, distressed properties. Okay. The next one after that, we're going to be talking about calling sellers, buyers. Okay. Cold calling. We're going to talk about warm leads. We're going to talk about callbacks, like from abandoned signs or business cards. We're going to talk about interested sellers, hot leads, calling your buyers, cold calling, warm leads, interested buyers. Okay. The following one after that, we're going to talk about formulas and comparable sales for your ARV. What is an ARV? If you don't even know what that means, that actually means after repair value. Okay, this is just ARV is pretty much, if you don't know what it is, it pretty much just means what the property is going to be worth, full value, retail price fixed up after it's been rehabbed and everything. Okay, we're going to talk about those formulas. And we're also going to be talking about rehab estimates. We're going to be talking about doing the formula.
A lot.
Yeah, we are doing a lot, man. This is like free. Look at that. I got 3 pages of this of what we're going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Another webinar we're going to be talking about too is walkthroughs, right? Scheduling a walkthrough, taking a contractor with you for quotes, building credibility for your buyers, walkthrough, etiquette, edification of contractors and buyers. I also am going to throw in there how to edify and how you should be edifying people. When you're trying to connect people. Let me see, blah blah blah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, negotiations. We're going to talk about the close, final agreement on pricing and terms. We're going to talk about contracts and closings, documents, what documents are needed, what documents you can include, what is first, time frames, when to open title, and how, what is the title process, issues at title, scheduling, closing, step-by-step, communication with the seller, what to inform the seller about throughout the process, what to inform the buyer about throughout the process. It's a lot of stuff I'm covering, right? Yeah, a lot of value here that people pay thousands of dollars for, okay? We're just gonna give it to you for free. Well, I'm also gonna be sending y'all for every webinar that I feel is gonna need y'all to have some type of document with you as far as, contracts. We're talking about contracts. I'm going to be sending y'all the contracts. If you're on our webinar, I'm going to be throwing you free contracts if you're in the state of Texas, or documents that you should be using so you can have them. We're going to go how to fill out the documents. We're going to talk about closing, funding, and payout. The funding sources, coordinating funding. Okay, let me go to the next one, right? And how everyone gets paid, right? Because that's very important. I want to get paid. You want to get paid?
I want to get paid.
Okay, yeah, everybody wants to get paid. And I'm going to show you and teach you in structured. Yeah, I got kids, I got bills. And then for our bonuses, I'm going to actually be throwing this out there for our peoples for free. I'm going to be having some guests, and they're going to be talking about private money lending and hard money lending. I'm actually going to get two lenders. I'm going to get one that does hard money, and I'm going to get one that specializes in private money. And I'm going to have them talk on here for the 9th episode, and you're going to be able to ask all their questions. You might even get connected with them, whatever you need. I'm going to have them on the show. The 10th is I might have two people for this one. I might not even be this one at all. This one's going to be talking about other extra strategies, the sub twos. We're going to be talking about short sales, and we're also going to be talking about owner financing. How long have you been doing this? 26 minutes. Wow. Okay. It's pretty much all I got.
So what's the name of this new show? Here we go.
We got two comments. Keith Harris wants to know, will these webinars be every Friday? Every Friday
for the next 10 Fridays. Okay. This is, if y'all didn't catch this earlier, this is just this first webinar that we're going to be doing is just a straight up test run. We're trying to see how everything goes. We're trying to see what type of feedback we get back. We're trying to see how active people are being with us and cooperating and wanting to, learn how to do the whole stuff.
You want to see how many views you get.
No, I don't.
Watching.
Well, I don't even care about the views, really. I'm not here for the views. I'm here to help and educate others, right? Yeah, you like that, right? So it's just pretty much called, how to wholesale.
How to wholesale.
How to wholesale. That's it. From start to finish. Simple. Yeah, and then we're also at 30 minutes of these. If we have time, I'm going to try to do my best to do a lot of Q&As. Now, keep in mind, I can't answer everybody's question. It's a lot to cover. I got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. And my time is precious, and I got deals I got to finish closing. I got to move our deals as well. Got to, do my thing.
A comment from Angel Navarro says, good info here, guys. Thanks for your time. Heard way more here than I did with one of those expensive gurus.
There you go.
Awesome, my man. I appreciate you. This is why we do it, okay?
And I'm going to put in a little plug for my shows I do every Monday night with my freestyle music. And I go on and I give you guys a lot of free content as well. Catch me there on Mondays around 7 p.m.
Awesome.
On my personal page.
Yeah, he's very informative when it comes to contracting lots, how to configure lots and the deal. And also, what else?
I do all type of topics.
Oh,
whatever.
badass.
If anybody has any recommendations on what they want to hear, just type it in the comments.
Cool, badass. Yeah, and so also, one of the things that we're wanting to do is kind of change how people see wholesalers. I know when I first got started, wholesalers, there was a lot of bad wholesalers, like bad wholesalers. I still come across them, but some of them, I'm not going to name or anything, have gotten better because I've been able to help them out a lot more. And, I always tell myself, if I have the responsibility to give some free education, help somebody, and help feed their family and make them into a badass and making them do things morally and ethically right, I feel good about that. I think it's time that we start working together and stop being greedy and stop being stubborn and stop stop making things difficult.
Just want it more professional,
more
transparent, more professional. And that's what we hope we bring here with the HILCO Homes brand.
Yep. Another few things we're going to be talking about too is the art and the importance of follow-ups and how you should be doing your follow-ups. That is very important. A lot of people are always asking me, well, how do you do follow-ups? Well, what do you mean by that? How do you do follow-ups? You just call them again. What are you talking about, But I know they're trying to be specific, trying to get down to a detailed, question. So What I mean by that is that, how often should you be following up? How many times, should you follow up in a month? How much should you be following up till you feel like it's a waste of your time? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be speaking about that too. Just some, few things here about the follow-ups. Understand that if you're going to be getting into this wholesaling game, it's very important that your follow-up game is on point. Okay, now I'm talking about to the point where it gets close to being called a stalker. Okay, like your follow-up game needs to be that tight.
I've been
Okay,
a stalker once or twice in my life.
Oh, you had women stalk you?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Okay, how did that go?
Well.
Okay.
That's a different topic.
Okay. It's just so awkward, man. And so I'm gonna also be talking to you about understanding your buyer's criteria. Come on in, man. We got a guest today.
We got a
surprise guest.
Who just walked in.
It's your boy.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, Aaron Batman, the entrepreneur.
Our neighbor.
I didn't know y'all were live, man. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool, man. No problem.
Listen to what these guys are saying, man. These guys drop major value, man.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you.
Guys,
I love this guy, man.
He's a
we
beast.
actually came from the same insurance company that we were with. Yeah, that's pretty badass.
So that we come from the same cloth, basically.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much,
some
man.
of the same training.
Yeah, same training skills that we utilize
Silk
in that
cloth, right?
in that PHP
Like a
environment.
suit, like a nice tailor
We
suit.
moved it here, and it's helped out.
Gets me excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Shark skin, like a shark skin.
Shark skin.
Shark skin's good. Yeah, Persian rugs. So another thing we're going to be talking about as
Come
well.
out of nowhere, but that wasn't planned.
Yeah, that was planned. Yeah,
All right, cool.
he bombed us. So a few things we're going to be talking about as well is scheduling appointments, and that's going to be on the walkthroughs and scheduling appointments. We're going to tell you when you should be going out there and seeing these properties. How far off do you think it's good enough for you to go out there and see it versus passing on it or following up. A lot of people waste their time. I know a few people that go out there for every single property. I'm like, man, like you must have money to waste all that gas. You must have a lot of time to waste that, because that is very important to understand that you do not go out there for every single property. Some sellers, they just want to know what you would offer them.
Mm.
They're not even motivated, all right? And we're going to be talking about that too, the difference between motivated and not motivated sellers, okay? I need to understand the points in that. I know we got bills. I know we got kids. I know, we got things. We know we got grandma in the nursing home. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
My grandma passed away.
Okay, my
1996.
my condolences.
Yeah.
Okay, so, God damn, dude.
What?
I love you, my man. This is my boy. So, yeah, so it's very important to understand somebody who's motivated and not motivated sellers. Some people would just straight away waste your time. I don't know about you. I don't got all that time to waste.
Keith has a question.
So what's up, Keith? Does Keith have a question?
He says he wants you guys to talk about how to evaluate the rehab cost of
Mhm.
the property before making an offer.
Yes.
Great
So
question.
we are going to be
First of all,
talking about.
Very good question, Keith.
We are
I'm
going
gonna
to.
give you a brownie point for that one.
Okay. Well, if you want to talk about it, you can go ahead and talk
All
about
right,
it.
Keith,
But
let me give it to you down and dirty. All right, we're not gonna give out the whole class here today, but since he asked the question, we gotta answer it.
yeah, okay.
And by the way, give the plug of what time and date your new webinar is gonna be
Every Friday, 11 a.m. Okay, now this is just our test run webinar series. Okay, so it might change. I understand everybody has work during the day, and I definitely want to get everybody, involved. So depending on how this webinar series goes, we might switch it to afternoons, so that way everybody has time.
You're not gonna find
I'm
me.
also
Friday
going to be
afternoon.
recording these as well, so that way you can replay these episodes back just
All
for
right.
free for you, so that
All
way
right.
you have.
So
you can always
Friday,
come back.
11 a.m. for now. Okay, cool. To answer Keith's question, you got a pen and paper, Keith? Write this down.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and draw it out right there? That's where we got the whiteboard, my
Oh,
man.
check it out.
Boom, there we go, here. Oops. Uh-oh.
All right. So the property is a single family dwelling. Can you see me?
No, they cannot see
Okay,
it.
here we
Yeah,
go.
go ahead, my man. I'll let you take
Single
the
family
rules.
dwelling, approximately 1,200 square feet, give or take. Right. This means squares. All right. That's square. All right. So what you do is $12 per square foot.
Cosmetics.
That's for cosmetics only. What does cosmetic mean? It doesn't mean your girlfriend's lipstick. It means the interior of the house, new bathroom, new kitchens, new floor, new paint, new that kind of stuff. Now, for every major other work, which is could be HVAC, right, the foundation, electric, plumbing. For that, you want to add $4 per square foot for each one, and roof. All right, I should have been a doctor because my spelling sucks. But for that, you would do $4 per square foot. So that would probably give you a rough idea on what the rehab is going to cost. You agree with that?
Yep.
He agrees with that, so we're good to go. So I hope that answers your question. Let's finish off with the video here. I gotta make some calls.
Yeah, definitely. Well, do any of y'all have any other questions before we end our first series? Our first webinar. Any other questions? Any other questions? Maybe something y'all would love to see that we teach in the webinars.
Sean
maybe
York says break down cold calling and negotiation if you flip the permitting process. And then we got Joseph on the webinar saying, I want to thank you for providing this knowledge for no cost. I watch and follow you on Facebook, the both of you, and see why you are successful.
Send me a check.
We appreciate y'all.
We'll take donations.
And Keith Harris says JVs. He wants to know more about JVs.
So JVs. Oh, well, JVs are actually going to be covered in there. Actually,
there.
Yeah, it's in here.
So Keith, just make sure you have your notifications on for Alex. You're gonna go doing this through HILCO Homes Facebook or your Facebook?
Well, the Facebook Live, we're going to be doing it through the HILCO Homes, but through the webinar.
Right.
Webinar is strictly you got to email me to be touched in the webinar.
Notifications, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you got notifications on Alex's live videos for the webinar.
Yeah. I send you a schedule and everything, so that way you have it. But yeah, so regarding JVs, I actually will be teaching that as well. We're going to be touching base on how to structure the JV deal with somebody and how to control and how to have a process for that for yourself going in, what you should be doing a split fee for, and what else you should be being, how do you say it? What else to coordinate regarding how to structure the assignments, what to do with title, who should be signing what, and things that deal with JV. Pretty much whatever you could think about regarding JV. If you have questions just make sure you write them down. And when we touch base on it, you can go ahead and just ask your questions, and I will touch base on it. But that's pretty much about it. That's pretty much all we got for right now. I really do want to appreciate all of y'all. We're going to cut this one a little short today. I appreciate the people that are already on the webinar tuning in. Like I said, this is just an introduction video. I just want to kind of give y'all, a heads up on what to expect, and what you can be, what type of value you could be expecting to get for you, taking out the time to tune in for it. And we're just very excited about this. It's very important to us. That's why I love Mr. Romero, is because he is very big on education. I myself is big on education. I know when I got started, I didn't have no help. I was struggling for months. I was struggling for months, man. Remember when I first got started? What kind of food was I eating? Wasn't I not eating out of a beans can because I was hungry?
Pretty sad.
Yeah, pretty sad. But I call it paying my dues, and now I don't have to do that. Now I eat steak.
He moved up to what's that restaurant we went to the other day? Mexican restaurant.
Mexican Las Palapas.
We moved up to Las Palapas.
Yeah, I went from cans of beans to Las Palapas.
We're gonna get into J Prime and Ruth Chris Steakhouse soon.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on Texas to Brazil level. Okay,
we're working on that.
Yeah, but
that's cool. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, please tune in if you are interested in the webinar. I'm going to go ahead and be sending out more emails, and you can reach out to me at alex@hilcohomes.com, or go ahead and please put in your email into the comments, and I will go ahead and make sure that I send it out to you. Hey, if you got anybody else interested, have them send me their emails or touch base with them and connect us, and I will definitely always get them involved. I do have room. for the webinars, but it is limited to 100. So just go ahead and, do your thing. Okay, I believe that's all we have for today. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And everybody on the webinars, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I thank you for being patient with me. I promise y'all I'm going to give y'all some really great value. Now I'm going to make sure that y'all are successful, and I'm going to give y'all some personal one-on-one time out of the webinars if you have questions you need us to help you close some deals, okay? Love and peace.
Let's go. I stole that from